Casters, it's Chatham.
That's a different one, Mike. A little bit more, broadcast appropriate, I would say, Chad.
I didn't know we had first names.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well. But we're hopping right into this one. Chad, you're very excited about the veto.
Mike's energy has gone into the veto and it's flowing through my veins right now. The holy trinity of the map pool. These are three of my absolute favorites to watch and digest. Vertigo, Ancient, and Nuke. I cannot wait to get stuck into this one here. 1x bet odds favoring the MOUZ as we kick things off. NiP on the defense, MOUZ on the attack on their map choice. Vertigo, well, let's go. Plopski into some Julies with a bit of light util and creepy crawly, nice and silent out of spawn, not wanting to give away any early sound cues. Hampus, jump spot early on the A ramp for info. Confirms what he thought he saw, drops back as they run him down.
Fuzzy going to be playing in from behind the sandbags. A couple of MOUZ players trying to go towards short, but Fuzzy is going to get his opportunity here to strike. His teammates can set up a distraction for him. Dexter has the first kill of play. What a flick back as well, and Dexter with 3. That is brilliant from Dexter. Now we've got to look to Estitag and Plopski to get back into this one, and NiP just don't really look so hot right now.
Oh, the kills are coming their way. Jumping forward, Frozen grabs another. He's here to biff, he's here to fight, and Frozen takes down Plopski as well. Grabs the Julies, and Al's grabbed the pistol round. Great way to kick things off here.
Well, Dexter showing up early on. That's great to see from the IGL, 3-0.
Dexter, look, for him, he's looked more comfortable this event for MOUZ than he has for the entire time he's been there in the previous year. This new project, even with a stand-in, looks like he's finding his form. Dexter, I had the pleasure of, well, playing against him back in the day, and he was a very, very annoying, lurky style player to play against. Let's see how much of that he gets to do here within MOUZ. It's going to be the FECO, that's the full eco from Hampus and his boys at NiP, and they are getting mauled. JDC unleashing some of that AK fury, and he's just happy to be here. The youngster with a call up from the academy team to fill the shoes of BMAS. And he's beamed down 3 as Torzy's taken down Rez. That's the counterpart. You've heard the conversation. You know, coming in from the We Play Academy, these two have been looking tidy. Can't wait to see Torzy firsthand on that AWP. Hearing good things, seeing good things. I'll witness some good things here today as NiP will finally get these rifles out. M4s are plenty, and AUG for Fuzzy. Won't be able to get himself the AWP this early, but still a scope to work with nonetheless. No defuse kit here, and not a single Molotov to defend with on the Swedish side of things. A couple of good little details there we can dive into in future eco rounds coming out of the interview piece with Heku and the prac room of MOUZ. We also have on the other side of things a We Play Academy member of Fuzzy in the mix too. So there's a couple of them out here playing some top tier Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that system's certainly working. MBK.
Well, the Kingmaker's out mid already.
Plopski trying to deal with him, but MBK just takes him down and swiftly upgrades that MP7 out for the M4. And Estitag not really ready for them to continue pushing to his left side.
Not at all. I think there was just too much pressure all around here and just absolutely dismantled systematically. They're in the side, the bomb goes down, and they can even start hunting for these final 2. Rez and Fuzzy, you better run, you better hide.
This is a disappointing start for NiP. Not anything done here, not a single kill in the gun round.
Yeah, and you're right, Estitag got a bit overrun there. That was quite quick. You love the gap that MBK's found there. He's just been contacted out with the MP5 in hand. And MBK's a storyline of his own. Lots to dig out. I'll say something about digging a hole, but we should be more focused on a typewriter to write a story. They will get to hold on to these rifles, so Rez has done a good job of setting JDC back where he came. 3-0, the score will read. And a blistering start here from MOUZ. Easy as you like.
Yeah, and right now, again, just to set the context of what lies ahead of these two teams, the winner of this series will move on to play the winner of Vitality versus Gambit, which is currently going on in the A stream. If you want to watch that one, take the B off your URL.
I would like to watch that one. But
yeah. We can watch it another time.
Well, we might have to watch the VOD back here, or listen if Scrawny and Launders directly above us start jumping around. We might have to flick on over and check out a highlight or two. They're directly above us, casting that right here, right now.
Yeah, I can somewhat keep up with it just listening to Connor through the roof, so maybe I can keep doing that a little bit during the breaks. But here we are. 3-0 start, NiP down to pistols around the save weapons.
Yeah, and they're taking the pace out here, MOUZ. Previously, we saw that contact play. This time around, they're going to wait and see what comes their way. Spammed on through Torzy onto Hampus, and you know that Hampus likes to play around the smokes, right? He is a an absolute thorn in the side. He's an annoying player, old hampus, to play against, so you're going to see more and more of him gravitating behind those smokes throughout this series.
Oh, interesting listening to Cyclone, thinking MOUZ boy map pool hasn't really been tested just yet.
All right, MBK. Nathan, you're rolling back the years a bit.
Nice and clean.
That is curious, right, that he did mention that the map pool hasn't been tested yet. So we'll have to wait and see how far MOUZ can really push the issue here. Going up against a Gambit or a Vitality, if they do win this series, I think they'll be tested there.
Yeah, I certainly think so. And I think Cyclone is going to be one of the breakout coaches this year. He just seems to be, see the work he's done with that MOUZ NXT team, and then now bringing, bridging the players in that team to the main roster. It's been pretty seamless. I'm really excited to see what he's able to do this year. Rez, he's doing a good job at holding on to this.
Yeah, if he can hold on to get a couple more kills, maybe warm his aim up a little bit here before things get a little bit too out of control. But I agree. I like the Cyclone addition. I think we are seeing, well, MOUZ have the strongest academy team for sure. There's a couple of other players there that people can say, well, you could put these guys on the main team too. Zertion's a name that people keep mentioning. There's the two Poles as well. So it's going to be curious to see what happens with MOUZ going forward, but this is already promising signs. And if this becomes a model for the future, well, watch out. The youngsters are coming. But here we go, back into the guns. And NiP finally have the AWP in the hands of Fuzi here.
Double on.
Yeah, Esatag might want that to help himself over towards B. BK to apply pressure with JDC, setting the youngster up with a couple of flashbangs.
Oh, Rez getting a bit more proactive, in fact. Trying to slip down behind them, Frozen. Moves to his position. Look at that trade from Dexter. That's quick.
1 for 1 there. This one not looking to stall out as more pressure applied. Dexter just walking on in. Not a chance, says Fuzi.
JDC makes the play elsewhere up the B stairs. Able to bring down Plopski. Hampus will remove his teammate. The phone with Torzi. So MOUZ still down. But double up setup right now. If they get their way towards the site, if they can remove Esatag, this can become very difficult.
Well, they have 2 smokes. Make that 1 just in the hands of JDC right now.
Oh, this is left still a big gap for Esatag to play with on this right side. Teammates to come on over. Esatag will land the shot. Absolute sitter for his AWP. And a lovely flick up to close out with a second. NiP finally have their first round.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Handled that because it could have gotten really out of control. 2 ops retaking the B bomb site. If they were able to land those smokes on left and right side of the gen, both Fuzi and Esatag would have been negated. Bomb could have gone down, and that retake becomes extremely difficult. This out kicked off. Rez traded on out here. Dexter swift on that, but then trying to make a bit of a contact play of his own is found out. Torzi. Time to see what he has on the AWP. Ramp smoke from hampus. Back underway we go here.
Yeah, Torzi, other than simple, is the lowest flashed AWPer coming into this event. See if NiP can do a better job at stopping some of his maneuvers as we move through this matchup.
It's a nice stat line to have next to your name, right? It's look, if you're the least flashed or one of the least flashed AWPers, you're not being encountered too hard. So let's see what Torzi has to offer here. He's quick, right? A lot of these youngsters are real quick. But fundamentally speaking, Torzi's been looking tidy.
Rez gets aggressive, and this time able to come away with 1 without being traded back. Oh, eventually, I spoke too soon. Dexter once again has his number. Fuzi, this is risky. It's a missed shot, and now he's caught no man's land. Luckily able to reply.
Okay, just getting away with his life there. The round almost playing out in similar fashion as far as the kills go. 3-on-4 situation, bearing down on B. Esatag's AWP is rooted deep into the back of the site, but if they execute on him, this is a chance to peel it open.
Oh, Esatag starting to take lead now. Uses the smoke to allow himself out of that position, or at least to signal that he could be out of it, but he's going to be sticking around. Maybe that can work out, but JDC, methodical. Missed shot from Esatag. Plopski also unable to get much done, and MBK, he is cutting through them. Question marks around what can he provide individually. Well, he's looked pretty sharp at the beginning of this matchup.
Oof, bit of wild spray there from hampus, almost out of frustration through the smoke. Will be trying to get away with his life right here, but you're right, MBK is a big talking point about this. From OG to Valorant to Counter-Strike again, it's good to see him return to us. He's one of the vets of the game at this stage. Seems strange to say. I still remember when he was all baby-faced playing Counter-Strike Source for very games. But look, he's been pretty sharp within the early stages of this. Couple of big shots. One of the things is with Counter-Strike, right? When you take a bit of time away from the game and you get to focus a bit more on how you want to approach it, and you're focusing more on your fundamentals and you watch more Counter-Strike and you start to digest and understand how the game is being played. When you're in a team and you're being, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, you're focusing on your team's approach. It's very difficult to play top-tier Counter-Strike, to practice 8 hours a day with your squad and then still watch and understand how the game is being approached on the broader scale, like where the meta is at, right, is what we would use. So that can become difficult. You see players in the past who become a bit one-dimensional. They need to go back and reinvent themselves.
Yeah, we were just talking about that just before this matchup started, Chad. The fact that you watch way more Counter-Strike now than when you were a player. You just didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah, you're more focused when you're a player in terms of like what you have available to you and what you can actually bolster. But when you look at how all the teams approach it, you can see quite clear patterns on what works and what doesn't. Some nice shooting here. We'll highlight that again for MBK. Timeout taken, and DJL, a new coach on the other side of things for NiP.
Yeah, a lot of people have been praising some of the changes they've seen since his addition.
Yeah, I know one of the things, Threat was very keen on allowing hampus to run the T-sides how he would see fit until Threat felt the need to step on in. I'm curious to see if DJL has a bit of a tighter leash on how they want to approach the game.
And we can't forget that Threat is not actually fully gone from this NiP side. He's taking more of a strategical position. So we'll still have his say within this team.
He just watches demos in a dark room all day.
Yeah, sounds like the life.
Shout out to Threat. I'm sure he's watching this right now. And that's an opening from JDC again, continuing to bully this B lobby, being set up by the flashes. That was actually Plopski's onto Tag there.
Good start for MOUZ. NiP, can they find this follow-up? Plopski, he's holding for someone to extend upon the edge of the map. Execute up for MOUZ, at least the smoke's being put in position. Here comes the extra pieces of utility. The mollies go out and Plopski is caught his timing to swing out to the right side. It's one for Plopski. JDC now looking to get involved as well.
He's called 2 players here at least. They're going to pivot away.
Luckily jumps for the molly back to a safe position at the bottom of the stairs. Spotted the shoulders, spotted the angle, and JDC comes away with 1. Good trade back from Plopski. That puts it all on Torzy 1v3.
Going to be a difficult clutch here with the AWP in his hands, but let's see what he's got. Scoping in towards the site. Plopski's actually over towards Jenny, swinging into the line of sight.
Oh, Torzy's quick. Let's see if he's quick enough to take down Plopski if he swings. 45 seconds. Still a good bit of time here. Smoke double flash as well on the back of Torzy. Oh, good. Oh, that is quick from Plopski.
Yeah, it looked like Torzy could have swung into that there, but good shooting from Plopski there, and is able to keep NiP in the winning ways. Second round, spotty. We need something consecutive here out of the Swedes. Now still have plenty of cash to splash, but if they lose another, might see them go down to a bit of an eco. Hampus in the hands of Tag here. Won't have that secondary AWP to operate with. Ramp smoke from Hampus coming through. Underarm nade to do a bit of damage there to JDC. He's chunked on down to 67 points of health. Frozen and Dexter doing what they do best, lurking behind these ramp smokes, trying to make some space.
Interesting alt position here for Fuzi, playing from behind the sandbags. Luckily has some rifle support alongside of him. And it is Rez. He's going to be playing in around these smokes. Flash goes in, silent drop down.
It's a one-way.
Oh, Dexter. Oh, Rez, how does he get 2? That is absolutely huge from Rez. And Hampus alongside him, and now Fuzi's AWP comes into play. Good kill from JDC back. That's Fuzi's AWP down. At least one of the kills claimed back here for MOUZ.
They've been turning their attention over towards B within these mid to late rounds now. The focus clearly set on this A side of things. JDC with 9 to his name. Would love to find a 10th here to help them crack open the A bomb site. Rez and Hampus have dropped back passively. But look where Tag is during all this. Pushed all the way through. There's no way back. The door is locked. You will be committing towards this A bomb site.
JDC waiting until his teammates get in good positions here. The smoke will begin to fade away. Versatile continuing his walk forward. Frozen. Smoke onto the site. Has a molly as well that could clear out that boost position of Rez. And now they run forward in towards the site. Frozen starting to clear close positions. Rez with another one. This time the headshot. Frozen's the victim. Rez is having fun right now. That's 4. And Plopski at least able to get involved in the mix. It will be 4 for Rez to close it. And NiP, that is a good round from Rez.
Very good rounds. I like the info play there from Tag. I enjoyed that. You know, look, it just means that they can keep their attention over towards A. They don't have to worry about too many flanks to the other side of the map. So great stuff, and as mentioned, this was going to put MOUZ in an interesting position financially speaking. Timeout called to discuss their options. Next round of play, 2,400, so it is just one eco required here. Dexter is able to purchase the most with 3.3. Maybe he wants to save onto some extra money for his AWP player of Torzi. But sharp shooting out of Rez, and that's what you want to see, right? One of the win conditions for NiP has to be Rez, right? Alongside of hampus, if you have him doing his best work, Fuzi, as the desk was talking about, he's been okay, right? He's done his job. But this is the thing, you're filling the shoes of somebody like Device. It's not going to be easy.
You can't do that one for one.
No, and as long as he's having, you know, consistent impact, I think at this point the desk is right. Like, we shouldn't even be talking about this NiP team like Device exists. And that's not meant to be a dig at Device at all. It's just this team has been operating with a stand-in for so long now that we may as well look at this as the final complexion of the team until we get PR told otherwise.
Well, this round should be nice and clean for NiP. It's a good chance to build this economy. Some players with some residual cash, but quite a few of them without, so you want to limit the casualties here if possible. And for MOUZ, it's all about trying to do as much damage as possible, try and get that bomb down.
Yeah, some big issues here. Like hampus at sandbag, Rez is having some checks over towards short position on A, and yeah, Tag has the back of a Plopski not too far away. So it'd be very unlikely without a flash or a Deagle in the mix here to see Tag go down too easily. Well-timed molly, and here they come.
Yeah, Tag just tucks down, flash, good for 2 kills, and these pistols have found their way onto the site. JDC's got 2 and 3rd!
Okay.
Okay, JDC. Back to the Tech 9. Oh, nearly a shot there. That would have been an unbelievable play.
Jesus, Joseph and Bloody Mary. Where did that come from? That was 0 to 100. JDC. You could see a world where he gets that 4th kill and sets himself up. He had a lot of time to work with there, it felt like.
Trying to carry that momentum forward. But my God, JDC, he's really been the talk of the town coming into this one, right? Hasn't he? Back into this event, obviously stepping in for BMAS. And what a performance in this competition so far against far greater opposition than he's been playing against lately.
Yeah, it just shows that he's definitely been putting in the hard yards to make himself a, well, top-tier player. Rez is getting aggressive here. Could be flashed on through, trying to play on the cusp of the smoke, and has himself a geeky little one-way. Torzi might just walk into this.
Oh, Frozen.
Does he see some well, he sees the muzzle flash there.
Well, certainly knows the play's in there now, but hasn't been able to deal with it. And just like that, NiP have 2 kills to start off this round. Frozen trying to pull some of it back, but he's not really giving the shot with that re-smoke coming down.
I like this, right? Look, it's good to have hampus doing this too, but having Rez do it, you're setting up one of your stars to be able to find some traction early. hampus would traditionally be doing a lot of these type of plays, right? He likes to go aggressive on the T sides, on the CT sides, but they're setting up Rez, who's sharp as a bloody tack here, to kick things off. And wow, number disadvantage early again for MOUZ, and that seems to be the story of the last few. Traded out eventually. JDC is at least responding. 14 kills for him, 50 seconds left on the clock. A smoke and a molly to work with here, but hampus might just ruin this on his lonesome.
Fuzi.
Oh, that's the one-way being dropped from Fuzi. They might have to disrespect this here, MOUZ.
Oh, jump up for information. Shots rattled back from MOUZ to signal their position at the top ramp. Frozen has got that 1 kill back.
They might want to pivot back now. They've taken hampus out, right? He's one of the A defenders, and he's down, so they know that there should be a heavy rotation over towards this A site. That one-way smoke going to start to fade now, and just as they make their way through the lower connector, they will need to get a wriggle on. 15 seconds left. Footsteps being heard. Tag will be there to respond.
This has to be very quick.
Just molly the side.
Oh, he's got a molly. That's going to make things so hard now for MOUZ. They have to get to the side. They have to get to the plant. JDC's down. The ball is loose, and the round is over. Fuzi holds to the aggressive stance now, but MOUZ realize they have to save these weapons. They can't die after the time. At least that is a mercy given to them, but NiP, they run that clock down, they force MOUZ's hand, and Tag realizes it's just the molly play. Yeah, simple stuff there from Tag, understanding what utility he has available to him. That molly perfectly placed is going to spread or force them into the open, so really good stuff from Tag. Not often you just see a Molotov winning a round in that fashion. The loss bonus has built 3,400 in the next round of play, and have those saved AK-47, so they've bought a little bit behind it here. A couple digs, P250 for Torzi, some armor to work with, and boost over the smoke. hampus doesn't want to poke his head up too high. He might get lopped off, so good awareness of their ramp smoke here, and Frozen can actually see quite a bit. Going to start to fade. They will need to dismount. Kill from Tag again. Peek out for Fuzi.
He's
Awkward
pinned.
position. He's stuck here. Luckily, he has the rifles to get him out of there, and Fuzi will be able to drop back to short.
The bodyguarding happening from Rez and Hampus, who are still assisting over towards the A side of the map. Rez repositioning towards Sandbag now. Doesn't have a smoke, but Hampus does.
Under a minute.
MBK has this incendiary here. Is he going to use it on the Sandbag position? Because Rez is going to be in a rough spot here if he does.
Well, he is going to commit Rez in the rough spot right now. He's burning in it. Finally, the smoke comes out, and now they start to spam him even rougher now with Frozen's bullets in him. Fuzi gets involved. MBK, the victim of the AWP, but Fuzi wants another. Can't stick around in the same angle too long, so he's constantly having to move, and that's allowing Plopski and Hampus to start a shooting gallery on the site, and that's exactly what'll happen.
Handled there from NiP. A couple of moments where it could have gotten wobbly, but now they take the lead, 6-5. What was a 5-1 start has quickly been clawed back with 5 consecutive from the Swedes. Now, one of the problems that we've noted here for MOUZ Sports early is they're not coming out on top of the early exchanges. Right? They seem to be losing 2 players instead of being able to trade 1-for-1 there. Tag finding some confidence in winning that duel against JDC towards B. He continues to go there round after round. So they continue with the default spread here as we look into round number 12. Flashing Plopski back. 2 players still up close and personal. Tag has some help here, and JDC with the control early forces them back into more of a passive stance. Well, they haven't given up the opening over towards this A ramp, but they might want to get this B execute going a little bit quicker here. Rez and Fuzi are calling A clear during all this, and Hampus and Plopski are quick responders.
Essetai just deploying utility to try and slow and disperse this attack.
Yeah, Rez is leaving Fuzi. They're going to have multiple members to help defend against B. If MOUZ continue down the path they're heading, they're going to be running into a brick wall of CT defenders.
Oh, and they're going in as well from Hampus. Not going to get anything, in fact. 1 minute, 5 seconds. MOUZ is still ready to go on this B site. They're going to try and set up Torzi. Or is he going to set his teammate up instead? Yes, that would be the more applicable option. And Essetai, he's just chomping at the bit. He knows they're there. He just can't get the chance to take them down yet. Eventually, MOUZ will like to go for this. Utility starting to be set up, and Essetai trying to find some sort of chance here to open things up. Finally, he will be given the fight, but Frozen bests him, and now it's Hampus' turn, and he's got 2. Plopski alongside him. Hampus is rock solid on the hold. And now it is just Torzi. Clutch needed, quick shots! And now suddenly a 2v2. Torzi looking for the follow-up. He's looking for even more here, trying to clean the chance. And started to read Rez's position, but the rifle, it's pinpoint accurate.
Yeah, good stuff right there from NiP, right? They had all the numbers they needed, so no matter how many kills were coming their way, it was still hard for MOUZ Sports to push through that, and they're going to call their second tactical timeout here so far within this first half. Now, with how they started, right, you're going to be wanting to get at least one more round here before the half. Vertigo is one of these maps, right, where I feel if the T-side can really get things rolling, they can have blowout halves in their favor. But so far, MOUZ have been blanked. That's 6 consecutive rounds now. Not a single one of these rounds the bomb has gone down, right? So they're not getting access to the site. They're not going to be able to plant. That means the economy is not going to be bolstered time and time again. So with the max loss bonus, the purchases are going to be a little bit shy. 3,400 is Galil's and armor. Definitely not AKs and consistent orbs for your boy Torzi. And you see the ramifications of that right here, right now. Tech-9's 3 of which, a P250 and a Deagle. I think something fast, just try and shake, rattle, and roll NiP.
I'll see if something fast is on the cards here for MOUZ. Certainly sending numbers towards A early. Smoke out in the middle of the ramp. Hampus looking to dispel any early pressure.
Oh,
look
Lordy.
at that. That's a lot of damage right there.
Everyone's nuked on down.
Oh, there's another Richie.
Yeah, it's perfect, isn't it?
Well, that one didn't quite land, but softening them up.
Well, they kind of have the ramp control, I guess.
Yeah, they did. They just had to lose all their limbs for it, but they've managed up here, and now they've lost Frozen.
What did you see there, Rez? Keen young eyes. Frozen's down. The execute's coming regardless.
Oh, Fuzi over the top, has to drop down. Hampus' rifle. Oh, it was in a good position. Still didn't come out with anything, so luckily Rez has cleaned it up. Rez comes back again. He's found everything so far. And now just Dexter. Plopski takes him away. Rez is having an absolute field day right now, and he really does have to be the star now that Device is gone.
Yeah, look, we've had this conversation a lot of times, and then NiP still managed to grind out games that they likely shouldn't win, considering their parts or the way that we look at their parts. But you can see that there's definitely something working here. They wouldn't have made it to this point of the tournament without it. So I'm interested to see who wants to step up and be consistently alongside a hampus, one of the highest impact players. We always love to see a bit more out of Plopski. There's lots of discussions here, but right now, 8-5, this is already a very handy CT half.
Yeah, Rez flash down into ramp. Just trying to apply some early pressure. And NiP have done a good job at not always having to send players down to fight ramp, but they've always been able to apply some early pressure, that utility, and prevents MOUZ from just barreling up. And look at this from Esotai.
Yeah, taking some liberties here, but spotted. JDC with more of a passive maneuver does grab the kill. Great to see him back opening the account. And that's a difference maker. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen a clean opening for MOUZ in some time.
Yeah, this is very different. And Torzy might even get an opportunity here to find another. NiP not giving it back. They're not searching for that trade kill. Instead, they're turtling up on the A side.
Fuzi might try and reinitiate from short here, and they're doing a boost on Crane. This is something we saw. Oh, that doesn't sound cute. Yeah, cancel that. But Fuzi's found one in the meantime, so it's 4-on-4. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an information gather towards B from MOUZ as well, but A certainly still looking like the point of call right now. Dexter's got beyond the fire.
MBK's rotated back over as well, so they have two smokes. They can smoke left and right of sight, but they've just been getting mowed down when they've done this. And if Rez holds on to this position, 35 seconds left, MOUZ, you're going to have to brawl for this.
Oh, and Fuzi's AWP is here as well. There's a lot to get through right now. They're going down, trying to soften them up a little bit. And once more, it's a slam dunk. Rez looking to finish. It's a headshot out to the backside. MBK removed. And they're trying to deny the plant. Itchy. Oh, that would catch him. Hampus' Molly burns away JDC. And now it's down to Torzy and Dexter trying to make this happen for MOUZ. Looking to push forward to 6. Torzy holds the elevator angle. Is able to pick that kill up. And now Dexter and Torzy have equaled out the numbers. They're looking to hold this down. NiP moving forward. They've only got one smoke left for this. If they throw that onto the bomb, they can create some sort of pressure. Nice peek out from Dexter, but his teammate's now down. And Dexter in the 1v1. The AWP of Fuzi trying to get towards him. He now goes to the defuse. He's trying to stick it. He finally comes back, and Dexter spots that out. And now the time is too far gone, and Fuzi has to save.
Great stuff from Dexter there, handle, but that shot from Torzy was the one that alleviated all the pressure in the 2-on-3 situation. His position so difficult to deal with. If you don't have a Molotov in play, they went up and over to take him out of the round, but Dexter, the in-game leader, picks it up and posts the 6th round. It's been a while since MOUZ have been able to add anything to that tally. 7 consecutive, and they've finally gotten into the site, and the difference maker there is getting the bomb down. They haven't been able to do that up until this juncture. And now we move into the final round here, round number 15, first map. Ancient followed by Nuke if required in this NiP versus MOUZ elimination match.
Another bit of net damage, just ticking on by here for NiP. Frozen looking to lead the charge up the ramp. Must be a little quiet, but will attempt time and time again to try and wrap things up. And Rez getting down the ramp himself alongside hampus have done very well here for NiP to pick up the first couple. And Rez finally punished by Frozen for the aggression. NiP force the slow of the play. MOUZ have to figure out the answers now. They have one Molotov left.
Yeah, and traditionally when MOUZ sports find themselves in this number disadvantage situation, they lose the round, right? They're able to limp in and try their very best, but Fuzi...
Fuzi's about to drop the numbers further here. Oh, that was nearly very quick. That was not accurate. Warning shot for JDC. Fuzi, missed shot again.
Couple of opportunities right now for MOUZ.
Yeah, Fuzi's been taken down a half. One below. Still a good bit of time here for MOUZ to work with. Fuzi spots the player going to sandbags and finally puts JDC in the grave, and now he looks for another one. Fuzi getting close to the 8K. Smoke, and they're not ready for that. Fuzi takes down Frozen. Just MBK left in a 1 versus 4. Got a good headshot on hampus, but he will be taken down. 9-6 half. NiP will lead the way here on Vertigo. MOUZ Sports, Matt Pig. Julies. Let him loose. Frozen around the other side. Playing from elevator, peeking into middle. Just biding his time. Here comes utility. Smoke onto Frozen. Body blocks it. Unfortunately for him, he'll be forced back behind it, and now opens up the chance for NiP to crack open the defensive players inside. It's JDC and MBK that go down without a single fight.
Oh, this one is already done before it's begun. Look at the rotation point cut off with his 30 bullets of doom here. Fuzi doesn't have to move. Another 3 players from MOUZ have to try and clear out every single one of these close corridors and corners. Torzi's found one. Fuzi does go down. But remember, they went for Kevlar, so they don't have a kit.
Rez is still here again. Has to double up setup with Esatai playing for Generator. Oh, Rez, just so clean. Esatai comes out as well, and NiP, well, they have 10 rounds.
Yeah, they had so much time, such a big buffer to set up your post plant, right? It was, even though they got through Fuzi, like he was just the first port of call. It was never going to be a drama. So running into their demise, MOUZ Sports staring down the barrel of what could be a force here. It's being limped into now. There you go. Deagles are plenty. MBK want to try that 5-7 out, but they haven't gone all in. You can see here that they've only gone and purchased it, leaving about 500 or more left in the bank balance. Torzi with 1K left over. Make sure he can get out that AWP as early as you like.
Yeah, makes a difference just having a couple $100 extra, right? And when it comes to utility, get the extra kits, just makes some real differences, the little details.
Yeah, Esatai doing his best JDC impression here, so he's gotten some full B lobby control, and well, likely without any presence spotted in the util we see, they could just execute on towards B, smoke left and right of the gen, and Molotov towards the default or the quad box. There was the one maneuver MOUZ Sports had available. Just limped that utility over towards A, and Rez has dropped a smoke to say, hey, guess what? We are here. Your utility netted you absolutely nothing. Trundling into the B site now. Molly's hit the deck. They haven't opted to get the smokes on down. Want to take these fights against the Deagles. This little cheeky B lobby Molly to land over towards the Guardian position. And wow, I don't think you're getting your way in here. This is where they should just retain their Kevlar, retain their upgraded pistolas, and try again in the next round. Because NiP are looking good. Now remember, winner of this does play Gambit or Vitality. That match is currently going on the A stream. It'll be going down tomorrow.
Oh, MBK.
That's something.
Yeah, it is something.
A little something.
Hampus gun's down there. MBK might be able to grab it.
Just having a little bit of a look at our opening jaunts for tomorrow. Sunday, 12:30 CET. Fnatic versus Astralis and Furia versus G2 in the lower bracket of Group B. The winner of those games will go on and face each other for the last spot in the arena of Group B. And Group A is where we currently reside. And we mentioned the matchup that will be possible. That one will be going down at 4 o'clock tomorrow. You'll also have in your fixtures Heroic versus VP and Na'Vi versus FaZe. So another full day of 6 best-of-3s across both streams.
That Heroic VP game sounds like a meaty one to me.
Yeah, I like what we've seen from Heroic so far. They're obviously very fired up about things. VP have been looking good as well. 2 teams who, look, it's not that they were off everybody's radar. They just definitely weren't in the same conversation as the Na'Vis and everybody getting hyped about the G2 and Vitality rosters. Gambit as well. Here we go. They retained what they brought in the previous, and MBK's even got himself that cheeky upgrade. JDC goes down early, and well, maybe so do the hopes of MOUZ Sports in this round. See, MOUZ have already exceeded our expectations, right? And that's the problem is, even if they end up dropping this and it's 2 hours, like, yeah, well, they came, they did better than we expected, they had a stand-in, it was the team on debut, we didn't have too much stock put in them anyway, especially I didn't. But they played well and truly above the level I thought was possible for this team, and I can't wait to see more.
I mean, everybody that was excited about Torzi and JDC were just hoping that they would be able to transition that to a land like this, but I don't think many people really bought into the level they were going to be able to play at, and it's been very, very impressive from them. And actually, MBK's impressed me a good bit. I thought he was going to be a pretty weak individual player coming into this event because he's been away for such a long time. But he's actually looked pretty solid.
Yeah, and I think that obviously he has something to prove in that regard as well, right? When you're one of these players who's been around the block for so long and you go and try and you make that move and it doesn't work out, so you come on back. It's one of these situations that you want to impress. You don't want to come, like, for him, you got to think about it. If he came in and he was bad, it would be like, well, okay, well, he's probably not going to last for very long, is he? So this is definitely setting up a bit more stock for MOUZ spots as the year goes through. And then you have Frozen, the man on your screen right here, who is now, in lieu of Robs, set up to be the star of this MOUZ Sports roster. So I'm actually, look, like as I said, before this tournament I wasn't excited at all. Now I can actually become a bit of a MOUZ Sports believer. I don't know just yet, right? They're definitely going to have time to marinate in their own juices and get better as the year progresses.
And I think when you talk about expectations and exceeding them, I think NiP fall into that category as well. I don't think many people, including me, expected much out of them coming into this event.
Yeah, they're able to battle through in some games where it doesn't seem likely, but this is Cycron's chance here to get on the mic before things get too out of control. There is a 6-round difference right now, and this is going to be the 3rd timeout call. DGL, the counterpart on the other side, doing the same. MOUZ, how are they going to put a stop to this?
The cool thing about these two IGLs, and I spoke with analysts like Yanko about this, is just that when you have two coaches that come very quickly from recently playing in Tier 2 CS, that can be such a great advantage. And when you have a very recent player coming into play, they understand how the game is played right now. That can be a big talking point. Both of those players, not too long ago, were in the server themselves.
Yeah, it's one of these things where being connected to how things actually operate in the game is huge. You can watch a lot of Counter-Strike, you can understand a lot of Counter-Strike, but having that tangible knowledge, not only does it buy you a bit of respect to your players, it also keeps you up to date in where the game is currently sitting. Now, MOUZ Sports have been able to dissuade the early onslaught over towards A. The standard gap smoke out, utility back and forth between the two, and Esatag, lurky boy, jumps up. Oh, JDC's not getting anything done there. Lots of damage, but nothing lethal. That is going to sting for MOUZ as they have to operate in a 4-on-5 disadvantage.
Yeah, Plopski goes back to spawn to pick up the extra utility and will start to bring himself back over to join his teammates in what looks to be an A pressure. Dexter is about to spawn out one player, and in fact will remove the head of Reds. Goes back in for a second. Dexter's doing so much. That is huge from Dexter. He set up his team with a huge chance now. Hampus left in a 1 versus 3 from looking so good for NiP. Just being an absolute disaster at the hands of Dexter.
Huge play. Huge heads-up play there for the in-game lead. He could sit combo with the molly. He's able to use that to his advantage here. Now with Hampus limping. Dexter's just saved the day. That one should have been done and dusted. The fact that they went down early, they were down a man. Had to make the info play. Now they're back in it.
Oh, Hampus. What can he really do here? Now his position given away. He's 10 HP. A whisker of damage, and he will be out of the round. 17 seconds as well. He's realized this one's not happening. Walking back down the rampway.
Yeah, and we'll get away in time. Didn't have to worry about Torzy's AWP peering on out and taking him down, but we'll get to retain that AK-47. And as far as money goes, NiP should have a healthy-looking buy into the next. But Dexter saved the day there. Consistently, let's see if he can pull off more multi-kill madness from the top of the ramp. What else has Dexter been cooking up in the lab right here? Because consecutive rounds name of the game for MOUZ. Still trailing by 5 overall. AWP's on both sides of things now. Fozy equipping the big green. Plopski's having a good game too. It's Plopski and Rez over there. 21 for Rez, 16 for Plopski.
Yeah, it's great to see Plopski. A little bit of criticism about his performance. Was once upon a time a very exciting young Swedish star. Went missing for a significant amount of time. If he can come back to form, there's another player to talk about for this NiP team.
I think right now, Cycron's going to be pretty happy to have another timeout here to chip on in. NiP have called that one. They obviously want to set their ways of their approach, but I think for MOUZ, just to have the extra 30 seconds to, I don't know, tidy up any of the plays at the start of the round. Who's going to flash for who? Do we have a good spawn? This is a very important round for MOUZ Sports to get back into this game. They can convert this. Start setting themselves up at a bit of a comeback. Hampus to flash. That's a tag to do what he does best, but he has 2 players to deal with here, and JDC might get the better of him this time round. Crept on through the smoke and has no idea where Esatag is.
Esatag will start to back away as that smoke fades away, leaving Hampus in the closed position.
They're committed now, isn't he?
Yeah, Hampus is just going to be left out of JDC. He's waiting for that. He's waiting for hampus to make a mistake. He's waiting for him to overstep his mark.
Oh, wow.
But that molly counters him. And that now strikes hampus into action. Spotted JDC drop down, trying to put the pressure on him, and hampus will break his spine. He looks for another, but MBK, good recover. And that's going to be 2 kills for MBK as he falls back into the darkness.
Just bailed them out there again. Big rounds. One from Dexter and one from MBK. When they lose the opening pick, those two, the two with a bit more experience within these teams, have stepped on up. And has he done enough for MBK? Because there's still 3 players from NiP alive. They are turning their attention over towards A now. Smoked off towards the scaff and short position.
Dexter. And around the mix. Here they come through the smoke. Dexter tries to deal with it. And Plopski says no, his headshot is good. Throws it through the smoke this time. Plopski hits the deck. That bomb was loose for a moment, but Rez is now recovered. He's the player that has to think about the plant, but the mollies come down and only 15 seconds left. Fuzi throws another one out, but Rez needs to get across the side. He's whiffed his spray. That's the bomb down. And that's the round likely following. It is following. Fuzi's running down, trying to save this AWP just for that kill. Bomb loose, and NiP will have to stomach another round loss.
Well handled. And again, as we mentioned, it's MBK's impact right there. But that Molotov that NiP threw, awfully particular, wouldn't you say? Exactly on a position that if you go back and you look at some of the games that JDC's played on Vertigo in this tournament so far, was something that they liked. And I think there could be a fair discussion. Rez, the man on your screen, I can actually use an example. When Rez joined NiP in Oakland, in his very early days, he was the MVP, and that's when Case was still in the pool. And he had a couple maneuvers, and he was playing those positions, and he was being lights out. Here's the thing. In this top level of Counter-Strike, you can't run something for an entire event and expect to get away with it. Your tendencies will be downloaded. And JDC and Torzi, as the youngsters coming in here, they're going to learn that the hard way. It looks like NiP have done their homework.
And maybe that is a bit of DJL, bit of threat chiming in.
It is just a very particular Molotov, right?
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't feel like you would throw that otherwise. And not even just the molly, but the setup to get hampus in the position early on in the round, allow that time to tick on, and then set him up for the pick.
Yeah, so, look, I like what we're seeing from NiP there, just not able to get it done when necessary. Juggling some nades across and looking B-heavy again here. So wanting to knock on the door of MBK and JDC one more time. They have left a massive gap in mid that JDC is addressing now.
Dexter's coming back to help him as well. 55 seconds, MBK. You can often rely upon him to be the solid anchor player. And you're going to have to do that now because NiP with numbers outside of this B site.
Boosting up.
Yeah, MBK moves forward just in time not to get spotted, but hampus comes over the wood. And that is MBK down, Rez on the follow-up. And just like that, NiP have all of the essential kills to rip open this B site. Dexter tries to stay competitive in the round, but they're not finding anything here, MOUZ. In fact, they don't get a single kill. 13 rounds for NiP, that is much more like it.
I loved it. They manufactured 3 entry points when traditionally there's 1. They went for the wood boost, they went for the boost on the side catwalk, and they also sent players straight up the guts. Huge play, right? Difficult stuff to do, and they were given the room, they exploited it, and now they've set themselves up to close out map number 1 here. Great round from hampus, and this is what you love to see. 2 kills through the smoke, as easy as you like. Good awareness of where the rotation points were, and it is just pistols here for MOUZ. Looking likely to swallow the bitter pill of number 14.
Just big old deeks for MOUZ.
Doesn't feel like Torzi's had too many opportunities to get activated here on this first map. And Ancient coming up next. I can't wait to see what they have to offer there.
Feels like the first time he's kind of been neutralized, right? I mean, he's had a couple of quiet performances here at Katowice, but you expect a bit more impact out of him, but NiP has somewhat silenced him. Maybe on the CT side, once he gets that AWP out, he'd be a bit more aggressive. But here comes Dexter around the backside. He's going to come down this ladder momentarily. Essetag's watching for it. Dexter's about to find out the hard way that Essetag is ready for him. And that indeed will happen. Bomb down for NiP. And now MOUZ looking to sprinkle some shots and some damage through these smokes, seeing what they can find. JDC actually gets away with a kill on Fuzi.
USB as well.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous. Hampus' position though. Always gives me anxiety doing that one, Chad. I was worried I'm going to fall off.
Yeah, walking the tightrope here. Long way down. JDC goes down. Now, he had a blinder in that first half. He was looking great in terms of the entries, but now Hampus has turned to heat on up on this T side. 18 for him. It almost feels like out of nowhere.
Yeah, you know, there's not too many options here now for MOUZ. This really feels like one of the last ones they've got. Buy coming in, AWP out for Torzi. Economy is good enough to get this buy, but even then, you have to look at Dexter, who's had to sacrifice a good rifle to get a FAMAS out for utility and the kit. So 2 kits in play. This is MOUZ's last legs.
Yeah, Torzi has a good A-ramp spawn here, but is he going to be able to be manufacturing a pick? You've seen NiP throw defensive utility to dissuade him early. Flash of his own.
Oh, Torzi is actually frozen. He gets away with that. Torzi looked to try and rip open the round.
That's a good start here. Traditionally, they've been the ones having to respond, so finding an opening, and that's a smoke that's going to make things a little bit sticky. Uzi with a chance here, and if you pick out again from top of default, what a shot from JDC.
Yeah, I think he's seen him on the initial peek out and just was ready for the refrag, or the re-peek rather, and able to take it. Hampus pushes into mid. Dexter pulled out of play, so at least an impact kill there for Hampus. We'll see if they can get their way into this round. Still NiP trailing behind in this one, but still a lot of time left on this clock. And utility.
Yeah, the utility seems to be key here. They're all given a little bit of a runway up towards A. A molly towards Sandbag would likely be the first piece thrown, and there it is. A little bit deep from Hampus. Well, they assume it's clear.
That's the new lineup, Chad. It's a cool one.
The question is, do they assume it's clear, or do they make S attack burn his on it as well, right? Do they want to go for it again?
Oh, at this point, looks like they're just going to believe it's empty. 30 seconds. Here comes the push-up. Frozen, spraying down Torzi as well. It's suddenly just Hampus. Yes, he's looked good in recent rounds, but this one is impossible. Headshot for Frozen. Hampus down, and that's a good round for MOUZ. You said it was their last leg buy. Well, they pick it up.
Now they have a chance to really start clawing their way back into this game, but this is essential here. You need to force NiP into a position where they need to start taking some saves. And we spoke about MOUZ in the first half. You know, they lost a big streak of rounds. One of the issues was they weren't getting the bomb down, where you want to keep NiP retained to a similar scene. Good shots through the smoke here from Frozen, just aware of the time and the push necessary. Dexter with the A-ramp smoke. Util out from MBK, and, well, a smoke will land on top of his molly to immediately extinguish it. Torzi's been chipped away heavily here. 32 points of health remaining. Nothing gained early just yet for the Ninjas. Now, they clearly have a couple of good ideas of how they want to approach things. If they can avoid giving away an opening death, I think the way that we've seen them trying to finish rounds is being quite tidy. Being reserved with their util. MOUZ are actually in quite a defensive hold right now over towards this ace side. Now, when the execute comes in, if you do get contained to behind the smoke wall, it becomes about a retake. Do you want to play in limbo a little bit ahead?
Being held back.
Yeah, and another molly in exchange, right? So they're funneling them towards this B side.
Hampus, clear in the close quarter, doesn't want to be caught by anybody around the wood, and so this does set up a chance for the boost up. Now, Hampus has been pretty potent when it comes to getting over the wood here.
Yeah, he was a key to the success last time they did this. Now, MBK was the man who was on the other side of it. He looks more than ready this time around.
Not again, Hampus. He's ready for it. Oh, Hampus, you're not going to be ready for MBK. He's found the perfect angle for this as well.
It's going to be a full execute on the site, though. Molly's flashes everything. This is going to be difficult, and they're boosting over towards the catwalk side as well.
Oh, there we go. MBK counters Hampus. That works out. Has taken a bit of a sting out of the play for NiP. 15 seconds, they have to go. They have to go now. They have to charge into the site. They're starting to run out of time, and there's just so many players there.
It's called a save here.
Oh, that is a disaster for NiP. What was the idea, Hampus? Did everything just rely upon him?
Yeah, well, that was very limp, all things considered. So MBK's adjustment immediately profits here for MOUZ, and they get up to double digits, and that was a mandatory round, right? They needed to be able to string a couple together here, and they have been able to do so. That's 2 of their own. Just one more. And NiP might be having to go into that economical turmoil. Another timeout called here from the Ninjas. They have 1 remaining.
Yeah, I think they kind of lost track of that round in terms of the timing of how to get themselves into the right positions, and you can see MBK is ready for it.
Those boosts are so tricky though, right? Like you get your right place and then you don't want to make any sound cues, so you have to be extra careful.
Yeah, and they got all of that effort, and MBK is just waiting for it.
Yeah, and it stalled out as soon as, you're right, as soon as Hampus was dead, it was like, well, that's it. That's kind of the round done and dusted right there and then. But here we go. NiP have been able to pull together a buy, the only omission being res onto a Deagle. So there's a difference in the way they throw these ramp smokes, right? Tawzy throws a different smoke to Dexter here.
I think Gambit do that as well. It's a couple variations you can throw on down. And notice certain tendencies out of it, but Rez...
That's the Deeg.
That is the weakest gun in play, and now it's an AK. Just like that.
Well, the timeout music is making this round seem even more exciting.
Oh yeah, the tension really building. Oh, Tawzy out to the right side. Fuzi down.
They know the end of the game's coming, right? This is it. It feels like we're currently Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style here with the final question coming on through, but questions to be answered as flash close. Hampus has been deep. Tawzy not blind, but goes on down, stuck in the molly. Another member falls for MOUZ, and number 15 looking good for NiP now.
Yeah, NiP holding the advantage. It's like an action movie scene right now, and as we go under 1 minute, the tensions can build even further. Plopski starts to go up in towards short, utility being thrown into the site. Rez looking to exit the smoke, and Frozen needs to look back, needs to be ready for this. Rez on the other side. Smoke's gonna fade away, flash coming in. Frozen's done well with one. Looking for the follow-ups, but JDC, he's good for the hold and now draws back in behind the smoke. Plopski spreads him out through the smoke, and oh, it's just down to MBK. Just MBK left versus Estetig and Plopski. He has got Incendiary left. In for this clutch. Here's that bomb starting to go down. He's going to swing out, realizing he maybe has a chance here for a 1v1. That was his shot, and now they know where he is. He's got to deal with both of these players. He knows exactly where they're positioned, but it's getting those fights to go your way is the more difficult part here for MBK. Oh, he's got a chance, and he's done it! Great stuff from MBK. He brings down 2.
Keeping him alive. Massive play from MBK right there. Stepping up when he's needed, and even going to find the AWP.
Wow.
Low on HP, chained to the site. MBK, thank you very much.
It didn't really look like he had much of a shot there, did it? But he works his way into it, and just given those opportunities, these small bits of damage being able to be done onto that default player, flicks out to the ramp, and just like that, that is going to be some fire lit under MOUZ.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. They need to be firing up now. Thought a round like that would be one to break NiP, but the bomb goes down. They saw what Rez could do with the Deagle, so they're going to buy back in. But it was looking good for NiP until it wasn't. Shots continue to be hit. MBK up close and personal. And the fact he prioritizes Plopski, Estetig scared for his life. Here we go. We might have a game.
Well, Tawzy setting up for an early pick down the ramp. Needs to be careful he doesn't get overrun, and that's exactly what will happen. Hampus is quick. Now the AWP nearly finds a second. Estetig, can he be the player to get this kill back? Can he peel it? The B site currently unoccupied. Estetig can keep walking forward. Dexter removes Fuzi, so that's the kill back. Dexter again with another multi-kill. And it's the more experienced players delivering impact here. Estetig, good job.
No.
Plopski beats out JDC. And the bomb goes down for NiP.
A retake again here, and JDC overcommitting on the spam gets found.
Plopski's close position. Surely they start to check it. Dexter removes Estetig. That's Plopski down, and suddenly it's only Rez. And the Deagle has a shot. Oh, he's wrapped around. Frozen looks to the left. Can't figure out where Rez is. There's a dance of death between the two. And Rez with the Deagle removes Frozen. And 15 now emblazoned the scoreboard.
A little bit of a raise the eyebrow there from Rez. Knows what he had to do and gets it done. Doesn't even worry about the headshot in that close moment. Just bullet to the belly. And NiP, sure, they lost the clutch to MBK, but look where MOUZ are at right now. These close rounds have put them in the bin. Tawzy can buy, so can Frozen, but the rest are in a bit of trouble here, and I think NiP are going to be picking up map number 1.
It's looking very good for it. It feels like every time MOUZ find an answer, it has to be something miraculous. It has to be a big impact play to keep them in it. You know, Dexter did so much in that round,
yeah.
and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, that is a hard one there. Tawzy's having a rough game. Maybe the roughest we've seen from him so far, but these are going to happen, right? This is going to happen. Currently sitting at only 9 kills. He's been run down a few times. The AWP impact has not been there. Let's see. Do we have any twists and turns left within this first map? Ancient and Nuke just around the corner here, and the buy. It's at least managed 2 M4s. Some upgraded pistols, the light util. And a single defuse kit in play just here. So NiP, they're in the best position to close this out right now.
There's a Tig. Slips the B smoke and focuses instead to see if anybody's playing aggressive. And advanced around this B side itself. Flash is going to be information for JDC, but Dexter's deagle. It has been pretty sharp here, Dexter, mainly with a rifle. He's not going to find anything coming his way just yet. As NiP begin to relieve their positions in mid. And even Esetai starting to drop back now as well.
One of the keys here, when MOUZ are so light on utility, an AXecute would be the perfect call from NiP. They can grab this ramp control. You can see Torzi and Frozen are both more passive on the site. A nice defensive flash here from Fozy to help them get control. That's a middle click, and away they go. They can just start going through their paces here. They've got multiple mollies. They can drop one on the sandbag. They can drop one close towards short, and then one towards headshot as they start to execute here. They have everything they need to finish this now.
Hampus. Is he going to be able to predict the angle of Frozen? He will go around, flashes up. Torzi able to trade out 1 for 1, but Hampus continues to push NiP forward. And again, you have to remember, MOUZ don't have great weapons here, so Torzi was the rifle, and now it's just the pistols. MBK and JDC trying their best to move forward. They have to take a hero play again, and it's not going to happen. NiP will take map 1. It's MOUZ map pick going against him, and now they've got to dig deep as we head to Ancient. This is looking good for NiP.